So we're getting ready to do a PM on this Valve 6 single stage burner. So basically what we're gonna do is run this. Typically after running it, if everything works like it should, we'll be changing the fuel filter, pulling out the assembly for the fuel nozzle, and then putting everything back together and running it and making sure it works like it should. Thanks. So as you can see, we turned it on, it fired right up, so we know it's burning. So on these machines, turn it off and it's gonna run through a cooling system. You can see right here the fuel filter. It's pretty nasty looking. Hasn't been changed since last year. So we're gonna change that, then we're gonna pull the cover off of this, get into the burner assembly, change out the fuel nozzle, pull everything off, wipe it down, and turn it back on. So we've got the burner assembly off, basically 3 bolts. You pull off the burner. If you look down inside here, you can see that the fuel nozzle is pretty gummed up. The igniter prongs are dirty. So I'll be taking off the burner nozzle, taking off this cover here to get down inside there. Then we'll be cleaning the prongs. We'll change the gasket and we'll change the filter. So as you can see, we put on a new gasket. The other one was ripped and fallen off. Put on a new burner nozzle. We cleaned the prongs off. I wiped down all this from dust and we'll mount her back up. Yeah, before you put everything back together, you want to take and blow out your squirrel cage down in here. Alright, so we got the squirrel cage blown out, got the fan back on there, gasket's intact still, so this is going back on. Then we'll bolt that back down and then mount this back on to here, and that'll complete the burner nozzle. So under the cover, squirrel cage, all your electronics and everything's covered in dust, so you're going to want to hit that with some air just to get it clean. So as you can see, the fuel filter is nasty, so it's pretty good to push having these PM'd at least once a year. So after you swap out the filter, you're going to take the bowl, wipe it out, put your spring back inside the bowl under the filter, and screw it back in. So we got everything back together. I usually use WD-40, good old PB blaster will work. Just gonna spray down some of the metal and clean up this a little bit. That way it looks like we did something. So when you turn these back on to run it after changing the filter, you got to usually cycle this on sometimes 2, 3, or 4 times. It takes a minute for this to fill up. Sometimes you're going to get a misfire, so shut it off, turn it back on, vice versa. The other thing too is after it's running, most of these get a thermostat installed depending on what they're using these for. So you want to make sure after getting everything back together that you can adjust this up or down. It's going to shut off your machine. That way everything works as should. So like I mentioned coming over to the thermostat, if I cycle this down, it shuts it off. See? It's reached its temperature. So if I go back up, want to make sure it burns for a couple of minutes, then turn it off, make sure it goes through the cool down process. Good to go. Go on to your next machine. Again, this was a Valve 6 infrared oil heater.